Welcome to the Nerd Culture is Dead podcast. I'm your host and thoroughly a nerd, Zach. Today's topic is going to be video game RPGs. And joining me today is going to be Jen from Nerd Culture is Dead.
Hi, that's me.
And Faith from Faith.
Hello. Clementine just walked underneath my leg.
Oh, good.
Oh, I get legroom now.
So let's go ahead and just talk about RPGs here a minute. And caveat to this discussion, we're excluding tabletop RPGs, so Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder aren't going to be relevant to this discussion. They quite frankly deserve their own session. So, you were going to say something?
Define an RPG, step 1.
So, a RPG is a role-playing game. Any game that involves you immersing yourself into a world is considered a role-playing game. Examples include Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Stardew Valley, and various other games. Now, there are several different types of RPGs, so let's go ahead and break down that distinction first. The traditional turn-based RPG is more or less defined by having an interesting story or quest line that you follow, and you do various missions that normally challenge the player strategically. Games of this nature include Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem,
South Park: The Stick of Truth.
A fantastic game. 10 out of 10.
Pokemon. I love that game.
Pokemon, yes.
Yes.
Great inclusion there. All of which are challenging to the player mentally and don't require a lot of player skill. It's all more or less in the mind, the same way chess is. You don't have to be a physically strong player, but you have to be semi-intelligent to play chess.
Yes. Sure. You're looking at me like you expected me to respond to that.
Well, how do you actually enjoy turn-based RPGs?
So I'm going to strictly talk about South Park and the Stick of Truth because it's the only one that's coming to mind right now, and I liked that game a lot.
Okay.
I really like the concept when it's, and I'm sure they all do this, where it kind of goes back and forth. Oh, same for, like, Divinity, for example. Like Divinity 2 Original Sin, what we're currently playing.
I'm not sure if I would consider that a turn-based RPG.
Well, hear me out.
That's an action economy game.
Hear me out. I'm going to talk about it anyway.
Okay.
So South Park, you walk around, you're doing your little D&D situation. And every time you do battle, it'll put you into turn-based combat. Similar to how Divinity does it. You can't say it's not turn-based because it 100% is at least a little bit.
It kind of. Divinity is an initiative-based game where it models itself after
Is
Dungeons
initiative
and
and turn not the same thing? Is RPG not D&D? Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just not the traditional turn-based
But I'm
combat,
not wrong.
where instead of being a back and forth where one side gets a turn, the other side gets a turn, like normal turn-based games.
Civ.
Kind of, yeah. Civilization is another game that I would kind of fall under the turn-based. It's not a traditional RPG by any means.
No, it's just
it's
the only thing
that's
that's coming to my
a
brain.
civilization game that has its own subgenre right there, where that plays more like
like Civ.
Civ and
I got you.
like all of the
Risk.
Total Conquest games, like Warhammer.
Like Risk.
Like Risk.
She's not wrong.
I mean, she's not wrong now.
The same game.
Well, what do you guys look for in a turn-based RPG?
I like when they throw in comedy. I know it has nothing to do with the concept.
No, I mean, that's
but it
what you
makes
enjoy in the
me
game.
happy. Even like summons, I think are cool too. Like one of the cool things in South Park is I believe it's Kyle who's got it's either Kyle or Stan. I want to say it's Kyle. It's Ike, kick the baby. And so his fucking brother comes out and he kicks him across the screen at the enemy. Funny.
Okay. Well, what about you, Faith, with turn-based RPGs? What do you look forward to?
I just play Pokemon. That's the only turn-based that I've ever played, and I've played that since growing up.
Okay. Well, then what about Pokemon is appealing to you? Is it the cute nature of the Pokemon?
Yes.
Is it that the game plays well?
That's all that matters is the cute Pokemons.
I guess for me, it's easily to get through the story and accomplish your goals. I like the cute Pokemon. it's a +1 for me. But I guess maybe it's just the nostalgia. I've only bought Pokemon games because of nostalgia, playing it on that Game Boy that I stole from my sister growing up.
Okay. For me, with turn-based RPGs, it's normally the complexity of the combat. So, to bring back up Pokemon here,
I'm sorry, you did not just say complex combat and then Pokemon in the same sentence.
You don't
I think
know
he
how
means
many
strategy.
Yeah, you don't know how many angry people you just made by saying that Pokemon isn't. You're welcome.
If you add in the PvP end of Pokemon.
Yes.
I also want to throw this out there. I've played a total of 10 minutes of Pokemon in my entire life.
So,
I was a Digimon kid.
Competitive Pokemon is a ridiculous piece where you have to not only breed the Pokemon to specific...
I'm sorry, you can breed the Pokemon?
Correct.
Yes.
I can make Scorbunny fuck Mewtwo?
No.
Those are the only two that came to mind immediately.
In theory, yes, but at the same time,
It's all based on the
egg type.
So
they're not having sex.
There's a... Well, they will. They have to have compatible egg types in order to make a baby.
What?
So, like, for example,
Wait,
Wailord...
Pokemon lay eggs?
Yeah, Wailord and Skitty.
I don't know who this
Anything in Ditto.
Big boy and small
I know
kitty
the
cat.
whale. That's all I'm aware of.
Skitty is this tiny cat that's like this big.
It's a
Wailord's
house
a
cat.
400-foot whale, and
They
have
can
sex.
have sex.
Yep.
Same egg type.
Is that how Mewtwo's... Not Mewtwo. Meowth is made?
Sure.
Sure.
We'll
But,
go with that.
Well, we'll go into how much I don't know Pokemon later.
well, with competitive Pokemon, you not only have to breed the specific Pokemon to not only have a specific nature, has to have a specific ability, has to have a specific investment points, or IVs, that you have to have those three qualities be good for the Pokemon.
That's Ivysaur. That's a Pokemon.
Then you have to train the Pokemon to get specific EV points, or...
Eevee is another
effort
Pokemon. See, I got you.
And then after all of that, you've made your team of 4 for competitive. You need 6 to really get going, because you need to be able to swap in and out Pokemon to cater to specific matchups.
Yeah, it's one of each Eevee.
So you spend like 400 hours just making your team of 6 to then have like a 3-minute battle.
I mean, if you put in hacks, it's more than 3 minutes.
You mean less than 3 minutes? If you put in hacks.
No, if you put in hacks, I'm meaning like paralyze,
oh,
burn, freeze.
you mean hacks as in cheese. I hear you.
Yeah.
There's cheese? I'm kidding. I was kidding.
I was
It was
actually
a joke.
thinking if there's a cheese Pokemon, but I don't think there is yet.
There's a mouse Pokemans. There's Mini
Pokemans.
Mouseies.
They need to make a cheese Pokemon that's just
I'm sure
scared
they
of all
will
the
in the
Pikachu
new
clones.
one.
Well, they have fucking magnet Pokemon.
Yeah, why don't we have cheese yet?
I mean, we have ice cream.
Well, yeah, it was like
And tea.
it's a fucking ice cream cone.
We even have a tree trunk.
And
Not
a
a whole tree,
pumpkin.
just a tree trunk.
They got the pumpkins.
So on topic, this isn't a Pokemon episode.
We could have one of those, but even then, there's a lot of complexities into these, so Fire Emblem's a great example of a strategically challenging turn-based RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Jen's just going, because she doesn't like them.
You throw a Pokeball at it. I repeat, 10 minutes of Pokemon in my entire life, so...
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move past turn-based RPGs. And we're going to talk about ARPGs, or action RPGs now. Now, these RPGs are often defined by having a free-flowing combat style, so a game that would be a good example of this is Dragon Age Inquisition, or Dragon's Dogma, or Dragon's Quest. A lot of dragon games here.
Fable, Skyrim, Final Fantasy,
Mass Effect.
other things.
And Final Fantasy only recently came into the ARPG space. They used to be turn-based.
Let me rephrase. Final Fantasy 15. That's the only one I played. Oh, no, I lied. I played 7.
7 remake, not original
Yeah,
7.
correct.
Well, with having a free-flowing combat style, it makes the game more immersive, where it's not, I swing my sword, then I wait for you to swing your sword. Then I swing my sword again! It's, you're constantly having
Swinging
to...
swords.
Yeah, you're
Button
battling
mash.
in real time.
Yeah.
Or whatever the RPG is. Right? Whatever you're doing it in real time. So,
Button.
like,
mashing.
Minecraft would be more or less an action RPG, where it's all done in real time. Think about it. If you're fighting a skeleton, you're not waiting for the skeleton to shoot its bow and then walk up to the skeleton on your turn. Think about it.
That hurts.
It's a crafting game at its core, but it's also technically an ARPG.
RPG. Yeah.
Okay, Muck.
Muck is definitely an ARPG.
Fucking ridiculous.
That's also a survival game.
I want to tell my Skyrim story.
Then fucking tell your Skyrim story.
So, noob Jen gets into video games, right? I play Skyrim. This is how I learned what over-encumbered meant. As I do, I pick up everything. And I'm going through and picking some stuff up, doing my looting, walking around, ha-ba-da-ba-da. All of a sudden, I can't move. I'm like, I broke the game. What happened? And then my friend who happened to be with me, he goes, Jen, give me the controller. He opens up my inventory, throws about 800 baskets on the floor, and I'm not exaggerating. And then I can move again. He goes, Jen, what the fuck?
Why the baskets, though?
Because I pick up everything.
Jen is a loot goblin to the core.
So you're just a crow. Anything.
Yeah,
Anything and everything to make your nest.
We were playing Divinity a couple nights ago. Last night. And I'm the one who picks up and loots everything and then sells it for money so that we can afford nice things. I had, and I'm not kidding, like 12 paintings in my inventory. And they're like, paintings.
They're
For
just
those of you
shoving
who
in your
cannot
pocket.
see, she did paintings and then proceeded to move her arms about as if to represent the painting being large.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They're thick paintings.
This is big boys. Alright, that was my Fable. No.
Your
Skyrim story.
Well, do you guys have any standout games that you all happen to enjoy in the ARPG subspace?
Fable.
Fable. What about Fable tickles your fancy?
Fable is probably one of my favorite games. Fable 2 specifically. I enjoy it. No, I don't know. I like it's not necessarily open world, because, I mean, it's obviously limited, but I don't know. I think that was my introduction to it all, so that's kind of why I like that one a lot, because that was one of the first ones that I really did when I got into gaming.
I know you mentioned the karma system a lot with
Yeah.
Fable.
Yeah, so, I mean, It's the concept like the butterfly effect kind of situation, because I really like games like that. But it's a lot of, the choices you make will affect how you see. So, like, if you murder a bunch of people, you kind of go evil. Or if you, save a bunch of people, you go good. And, like, there's a couple different endings based on how you did that. I know Mass Effect has a similar concept
Renegade.
as well.
All of the BioWare games are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll get into mine now.
No, absolutely not.
Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh, I love Dragon Age.
Is that your tattoo?
That sure is. I have the Inquisitor's symbol on my right shoulder. I fucking love BioWare RPGs. When they were good, not their more recent entries. Dragon Age Inquisition just sums up everything I look for in an action RPG. It's not where you have to be mechanically skilled to play the game still, because it has an element of turn-based into it, where it's a tactical action RPG.
Oh, is that...
That's the game I tried making you play for 2 seconds.
No. Oh god, this is gonna bother me. It's like a turn-based action RPG where you have to go in and there's aliens, and that's all I got.
Are you talking XCOM?
Yes, I am.
That
Thank you.
Isn't an action RPG. That's turn-based.
I didn't play it. I just.
That falls under the Fire Emblem category of like chessboard style gameplay.
All right, proceed.
Okay. I love Dragon Age simply because it has a lot of very nice NPCs. They're very well made. Rather it's Liliana and Morgan from the first game, or fucking Hawk. You play as him in the second game, but Varric is like the best NPC ever. Dwarf with a crossbow named Bianca. Got a good backstory. I love Sarah from Dragon Age Inquisition. Just fucking quirky ass lesbian elf who likes to stick it to royals. So her entire character is like lesbian Robin Hood, but she's funny. She curses a lot and just refuses to learn a lesson.
Is she a ginger?
No, she's a blonde.
Ah.
Lack of gingers in Dragon Age.
Trash.
Liliana is like the only ginger I can think of.
I was like, it sounds like a ginger name.
Well, I think I'm even pronouncing it wrong. I think it's Leliana, because Dragon Age is gonna be fucking weird. But it's got a lot of fantastic... And this is where I brought up the dialogue options in the Stardew Valley episode. Dragon Age and all BioWare RPGs have a great way of letting you express your character by having multiple dialogue options. And they'll represent what they mean. So, like, you'll have, like, a sad option, a stoic, strong option, an angry, brash option. And it can be, you know, like 2 to 6 options for every action of dialogue you have in a game about social politics. And
so this is why you like Magic so much.
Not magic, no.
Social politics.
A little bit, I guess, when you put it like that. Well, I mean, just the way you get to navigate through dialogue options and craft the story, that's where I think you'd like Dragon Age, is you affect the story based on your options.
Yeah, because like I said, I enjoy a lot of story-based butterfly effect kind of games, because that's what I'm into. I want to play a movie, but I want to affect the movie.
Yeah, and that's what this game ends up doing, and to a minor extent. The storyline's generally the same, but the way things happen changes each time. Alrighty. Faith.
Mass Effect.
Also a big BioWare fan.
That Mass Effect, Skyrim, like those are my bread and butter. My first game was Skyrim. I have so many hours on there.
Oblivion's better than Skyrim.
I mean, it is. Story-wise.
I got stuck about in the, like, there's a cave in the very beginning. I couldn't.
You couldn't figure out how to get out of the cage.
No, I'm bad at games.
Jen is notoriously bad at games.
Yeah,
this is true.
That's like my thing.
I played all but Arena when it came to the Elder Scrolls game. Like, I played all of them at least once, put up with the bad quality.
Yeah, you put up with Morrowind.
Yeah. I had to deal with the inverted controls for a while because they didn't have the crossover until just recently. But then...
Back when all games had inverted controls.
It was like, you guys sound like you didn't play a lot of Star Fox growing up.
Did not.
GoldenEye for me.
Mm-hmm.
GoldenEye with the inverted aiming controls pissed me off.
I played that on the Wii. There was no inverted control, just a stick.
I'm sorry, they make that game on the Wii now?
They did.
Oh, they remastered that game for like every console, I think.
It was fun. That's what I played with my dad constantly.
Do you know what a Nintendo 64 is?
Yeah, we had one. Just didn't play it very much.
Alrighty. Well, you mentioned that Mass Effect was your favorite game. What about Mass Effect really makes you love it?
Alien booty.
Alien booty?
Liara.
There we go.
Liara is the babes. Other than Tali.
Alright, I have to ask. I didn't play the games, but I heard the ending of the third one, many people did not like.
It's very sad.
Okay.
I mean, it has redeeming qualities in that you feel good because you finish something, but in the same sense, like, everybody dies.
It's just that it wasn't what people wanted. And
yeah,
so
I was like, I heard like people
disappointed.
got like real mad, and I was like, I don't know what's happening right now.
No, they were like making petitions to change the ending of the game.
It's just because they wanted a number 4 without having Andromeda, because Andromeda was its own thing.
Andromeda should never have been made.
It was good for what it was.
I'm so scared
as a standalone
for Dragon Age 4, simply because that team has changed hands so many times. I almost just don't want them to make the game now.
Did you play Anthem?
I'd not play Anthem now.
It was like playing Destiny.
I heard it's like live service Destiny, but like
Destiny
twice as worse.
And Titanfall had a baby. Because it had the slide like Titanfall, which was really nice. I miss Titanfall. Servers are not up anymore.
A lot of EA games just don't have servers up anymore, like Evolve.
I bought that when it was $5 at GameStop because my ex at the time lived in Hawaii and I had a couple other friends and we were like, we need new games. We got Evolve and then it got to a point where like, okay, this person's banned from playing the monster, this person's banned from playing the monster because they were so good and it was so scary that you kind of peed yourself. Because they would mute their mic and all you would hear is the roaring in the distance.
Well, I guess this brings up a whole different subspace of game, but like the like 4v1 or 5v1 type of game where like Predator Hunting Grounds, Evolve, there's this horror version, Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight's fun.
Hush. There's a lot of games where...
Alien.
There's a lot of games where it's like one person controls an overpowered piece of shit and there's 4 other people who suck trying to survive.
Only if I get to be the overpowered piece of shit.
Like, I've
Big stomps.
I've been enjoying these games, and I wish they made more of them. I feel like that's a space of game that they haven't mastered making, and I really want someone to really put a good twist on it.
Hear me out. I have a stupid idea. They make that, except it's Stardew Valley, and the big bad is the farmer. Everybody else is a plant.
So it's like that meme with, you're a piece of bread and this is what the pigeon sees.
You know what I feel like they should do? Make Prop Hunt again.
Oh, God.
Like
fucking
Gmod?
Just go fucking play Gmod.
But Gmod does not work.
I would
it
like
crashes computers.
I would like a good Prop Hunt game.
I mean, they got Stardew Valley mods.
I know they've done it in Minecraft, too.
Yeah.
Alright.
Glad we're staying on topic.
That's a good discussion if we're not staying on topic.
It's in there.
So...
They're games.
It's part of the same genre.
The third version of RPGs that I have listed is JRPGs.
Is this... No, it's not. Continue. Go on.
So, JRPGs kind of hold their own subspace. So games like Persona 5, Dragon Quest, all these other games that come out of Japan as RPGs.
So not my big titty love story novels.
No, that's
okay.
It's called a light novel game.
It's called a dating sim.
Yes, I like those. Go on.
Don't we all?
Well, I don't have a lot to say about JRPGs because.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Well, because it's another space,
It's
and I'm not
content.
sure if anyone else has played it. So,
Have
like,
not.
heck.
No.
All right, moving on. Fuck JRPGs.
I can talk about fucking dating sims.
Ugh. Well, another element of RPGs that is quite common is you either play as a character the game has made for you, or you insert your own custom character. Now, which of these do you prefer?
It depends on the game. So if each custom character has their own special plot line, it's nice to do that. Otherwise, I always like to make a character, and I don't like playing females.
You don't like seeing the butt?
I prefer playing men in games. Even like in D&D and all video games, I always play a guy. Unless it's something like Stardew Valley, then I play me. But like anything where I'm making a dude, I'm making a dude.
You're making your man.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see the butt jiggle. That's the only thing I like.
I mean, and I totally understand. That's why all the guys do it too. But like, I'd rather look at the dude.
For me, I honestly prefer when they come up with a unique character for you to play as.
So like Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, I don't like Arthur.
Okay, well, you're on the second one, not the first one.
You mean Cowboy
John
GTA?
Marston? Yeah. And I love both of them.
So, like, for me, an example of a character that I really enjoyed playing as was Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, she's a ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, beyond the fact that she's a ginger, I mean, there was just... The story revolved around her character and the events of the world and you trying to figure everything out. So the game is letting you learn alongside Aloy. So it ends up being a game about self-discovery, which I really enjoyed. And they did that well because of it. Whereas if it was an original character, I don't know if that impact would have been as powerful.
They do the same thing with, like, Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Or, it's Lara Croft doing her thing.
Yeah.
Lara Crofting it up.
Nathan Drake in Uncharted. We'll bring up Divinity here again. The original characters in Divinity have their own quest lines, which bring up special NPC interactions, which make the game more enjoyable as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I just prefer original characters and you having to put yourself in someone else's shoes. I think that's a thing that isn't as common in games as it should be.
A lot of things, a lot of people want to put themselves in the scenario.
Yeah.
For me, like, especially when I play, like, a D&D or something, I like to play things I don't do in real life. I can be me anytime I feel like it. I can't be this super hot, big buff dude. It's just not gonna happen. But I can now.
What about you, Faith?
It depends. I haven't played very many where you make your own character and you are your own thing. I've played a lot of, like I said, Skyrim, where you make your own character, but you have a definitive storyline that you have to follow. There are some things that you can do that differ, but no matter what, you are the Dragonborn.
You are the Dragonborn, and it doesn't matter if you're a half-orc or a fucking Imperial.
It doesn't matter if you just want to get some skooma and chug it underneath Windhelm. Like, it does not matter.
Sure, there was a reference in there you guys got and I didn't.
Well, so skooma
You don't have to explain
is a
it to
drug.
me. I figured.
It's like catnip.
Of course it is.
It make you go zoom.
Of course it is.
No, it's kind of like an under the bridge reference for like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Doing heroin under a bridge.
Heck yeah.
Start repeat.
Do you guys have a favorite RPG in general, or things that you look for in those games?
Storyline. That's all that matters to me. If you got something that I can put my brain and think, this is amazing, I feel included, everything's relatively inclusive, like with Mass Effect or Dragon Age, where your decisions matter and the world changes around it to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Any story thing, stuff where your decision makes a difference, I eat that stuff up.
For me, it's a compelling world. So, to talk about Elden Ring some more.
What?
Elden Ring is fantastic because of the world it presents. It's alive. It has its own stories, and it's a world that you endlessly wish to explore, and I love it when games do that. Where when I go into Dragon Age and I load up the new area and I'm exploring this like evergreen forest with giants in it, and I turn around the corner and there's a bunch of bears, I like exploring that. Or if I load up another area, oh shit, it's a desert with like 3 fucking dragons in it and they're all in a fucking cockfight with each other. It's
Wait, that
fucking awesome.
happens in...
Yeah, they just whip out their dicks and...
No wonder you love the game so much.
Have you guys played Ark Survival Evolved?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yeah.
No, don't unfortunately mean there are dinosaurs.
The story
is
pretty...
Hold on, there's a story in that game?
Apparently, yeah.
There is.
There's a story and it's not just ride dinosaurs?
Have you ever wondered about the little implant in your arm?
Not once.
Or why there's like giant floating
obelisks.
There are dinosaurs. That's all I cared about in that game.
Why do you think you go from like this normal-ish, say ish, because like dinosaurs were not around when people were around.
What? Mind is blown.
Or like giant Mothra moths farting dust at you when you hit them and scare them.
Dinosaurs is all I cared about in that game.
Or wyverns and unicorns in the same scape as dinosaurs. That
only dinosaurs.
It's all based around the world fucking up.
Ark is weird.
That sounds pretty normal, though.
I didn't like Ark because I played it on PlayStation. And you had to be tethered to a player during co-op. And I hate that.
Or you had to pay for a server. It's one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And I was not happy with that game.
I just like
I made one of my friends buy it with me, and I am so sorry to this friend. That was a waste of $60.
When I had my little friend group, we would play with the tethered option because we couldn't afford a server. And every server you went on, you had little kids that were like, I'm going to raid you and I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to take all your dinosaurs and kill you.
And they're right because they're better than me.
Well, even on the PvE servers, they would just harass you.
I mean, granted, I did that too, but it was a different extent. Like you're building where I want to build and you're not on every day. So I'm going to take a rock golem and lure it over to your house to destroy stuff for me.
Mm-hmm.
That
was
always
just
great.
Drop boulders from a pterodon.
Yeah. Or you just drop Trodons into people's pens because you're just like, have fun when you get on. It is going to be full.
People are assholes. That's the story of Ark.
Yeah. But I mean, I had a time when we would play the tethered. We'd spawn dinosaurs in, make them have tons of oxygen. So when you went in the water, it just flew. And then you bounce off every border. And people are like stuck and you're like in loading session. You don't know what's going on. It's great. Dinosaurs.
Fuck Ark. That's the only thing I have to say about Ark. I wish I had a more positive experience with that game, but I was not happy with Ark the last time I played it.
What kind of RPGs did you play growing up?
Mario.
Pokemon. Lots and lots of Pokemon.
Hear me out.
To where I say Pokemon and not Pokemon.
Hear
That's
me
how much
out.
Pokemon I've played.
Paper Mario.
And the 1,000-Year Door is the best one? Yeah.
Well, just all the Paper Mario games are great. That's a turn-based.
Yep, that's a turn-based RPG.
That's a thing, guys.
Yeah,
I
talk
fucking
about
love Paper Mario.
it. What about Paper Mario just makes you love Paper Mario?
The Paper Mario aspect of it.
Yeah, go on.
It's Mario, who's like, OG Mario Bro. And then it turns into paper. And that aspect is super cute. You know who my favorite character is in that game? Fucking little rebel-ass Yoshi. Have you ever played this game? Do you know what Rebel Yoshi looks like? He's fucking adorable.
No. I only ever played... Or I didn't play any of them. I watched my sister play 1,000-Year Door. And then I watched you play the Origami King or whatever.
Look at how cute this motherfucker is. He's trying to be a badass.
Oh, he's got a little
Look at how
mohawk.
cute he is.
He's got
Aww.
toad pants on.
I know. He's the cutest little. I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh my god, it's adorable.
It's like when a halfling paladin walks up to you and says, "I want to beat your ass." And
You're
go,
like, aww.
"Do it, halfling! I dare you."
He's so cute, and he tries to be tough, and I love it. And like the stupid concept of your paper, so like you can just fold yourself into a paper plane to cross that bridge. Because now I'm a paper airplane, bitch.
You are paper.
Paper Mario.
Did you ever play games like Wizard 101 growing up?
Yes,
Anything
I
like that?
did.
Wizard 101.
I just went on this self-discovery maybe like the end of last year with my boyfriend. We played he's never played it, never heard of it, and I was like, I want to see, does it exist? Because there was a game called Free Realms that just got like wrecked the last year that I had played it growing up. So I turned on Wizard 101. I was like, damn, they're still making stuff for this. They're still making bank on this.
Bro, the Club Penguin's still up and going too.
Yes.
Well, didn't they cancel Club Penguin and then another company
I don't know. I think Disney bought it out at one point.
No, I think Disney's the one who
Disney was
canceled
the one that had it and canceled it out. Because it was like, it had to do with the Disney XD portion
I don't remember.
of their whole thing.
It wasn't profitable because nobody fucking knew it existed anymore except outside of our age group.
Well, until everybody was like, no, don't take it away, and now it's a meme.
Mm-hmm. Flash games. I miss Flash games.
Give an example of a single one.
So there was this one where it is a parkour platformer game where you play as Stick Dude, and Stick Dude has to run and jump, and that's it. It's like Adobe Flash game, so it's not very complicated. Think like Balloon Tower Defense was like an example of an old Flash game. I'm talking like the original.
Pop Tropica.
Yeah.
AQ Worlds. Maple Story.
Yep. Flash games. Games that ran on Adobe Flash and is going to be discontinued this year, I think.
Just like all of Java.
Mm-hmm. All these old computer programs that have no point in existence anymore.
No, because now we run on servers, on actual online stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we have cloud saves and shit. Doesn't have to worry about your computer's hardware in order to maintain the game.
No more updating JavaScript just to play a game.
Oh, alrighty. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. I am Zach from Nerd Culture's Dead. My favorite RPG and video game ever is Dragon Age Inquisition. And if you don't think it's good, well then, you're a nug.
Fable 2 is good. Fable 3 is trash.
Skyrim will rule it all. Eventually. When they get Elder Scrolls Online out of their ass.
Once they make the, like, 8th remaster of Elder Scrolls 5. Yeah, like, how many more consoles do we have to put it on for it to be done? Like, I'm sure they're going to make a PS5 version here soon.
As many consoles are going to come out, it's going to exist on every console.
It's like the
Ageless.
GTA editions, where, like, we've had GTA 5 3 times now.
Fuck GTA.
You know what I want to fuck?
There we go.
Tifa.
You just want to
Tifa.
fuck Tifa, is that
I fucking love Tifa.
it? Tifa is great.
She's real hot.
She's way better than Aerith.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we just made a very powerful statement there.
No, that was not powerful. That is truth.
You say that till the people who love Aerith go and say otherwise.
And those people can suck my dick.
You're gonna get canceled.
Okay. That requires people to like me to begin with.
That's fair. Alrighty. Well, Jen, how about you close us out?
Alright, so you can find both Zach and myself on Instagram, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Also, we have a Discord server. All of that is going to be at Nerd Culture is Dead.
Alrighty. Well, and you can find Faith at Faith.
That
.com.
works.
No, there's no .com.
Is it .edu?
No, it's .faith.
Dot didn't exist.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't go hollow, my friends. And have a good one.
Bye.